In today's video, we're going to talk about a day in the life of a nail tech. We're going to give you the realities of this profession right now on the Biz Talk. Trace.
Reality check.
I didn't expect that. Kind of pisses me off.
Mm-hmm. That's the purpose.
But I'd like, you know what we should do also is a day in the life of working at Young Nails. And I think you could do this, you know, be like peace and happiness and love and joy and cookies and donuts and just all the things that make you happy, because I know, and you can't lie, that Young Nails brings you joy. Am I right or am I wrong? Right or wrong? What would you do without Young Nails? Tell me.
I would be very bored.
It's not the same thing as happy. Let's get into this. I think this is going to be really good for someone that is considering getting into the business. And we want to give you the good, the bad, the ugly, the realities. In every business, there are truths, right?
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
Of Young Nails.
Of Young Nails.
Young's the good.
Yes.
Who's the bad and who's the...
Why are you looking at us? Why can't somebody else be in that mix? Oh my God.
Like
Okay,
AB.
Young is the good, that's for sure.
She's the good.
I'll be the bad. Although Greg can be both. He can be the bad and the ugly.
Greg never is the bad.
Okay, I'm the bad.
He loves being the good guy.
Okay, you're right. So I'm the bad.
You're the bad.
Greg, you're the ugly.
Anyway. Okay, sorry.
So like realities of being an nail tech, we want to give you all of it. And this is what this reminds me of, by the way. When you go on Instagram, you see these entrepreneurs and they're like flexing and like on a private jet. All that BS is not real. The reality is,
found out they rented it and they're like, it's a studio. And
completely. The realities of being an entrepreneur is it's insane and it's a lot of work and it's the best thing ever. I would never change anything. I love, you know, building a business and running this business. I have since I started, you know what I mean? And there's nothing that brings me more joy, but it's nuts and it's crazy. And so we need to provide all that as far as being a nail technician, Tracy. Like day in the life of a nail tech. Why don't you just take us through like morning till night? What does it look like?
you wake up, just roll out of bed because you're so excited to get to do the job you love.
Yes.
And then it's like, you
Wait,
just
are you
hear
being sarcastic?
birds, and then you show up to
Damn
work
it.
and there's like, it's just glorious. Like you walk in and you're just like, this is the best job. There's a client already sitting in your chair, like
Ready to go.
paying you whatever you asked. Your shelves are completely stocked. Miraculous.
Trash bins are empty.
Everything's done.
Yeah, nobody takes your stuff.
It's amazing.
Nobody uses your stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Episode's over.
Episode's
Congratulations. Okay. I will say this. You have to love being a nail tech professional at the core of it to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
That does not mean that it's glamorous or you don't sometimes wake up and go, I don't want to do this today. And stress. So it depends. Are you beginning? Are you just starting now? There's different levels.
Of course.
But you got to make sure you're fully stocked. You have to make sure if you don't have clientele, how am I getting clientele? When am I getting practice in? How am I going to market myself? How am I going to afford supplies that I need, but I'm not bringing any money in?
Let me ask you this.
It's stressful.
Okay. What about take me through this. You're fully booked.
Okay.
Okay. What does that day look like for you from when you wake up? What time are you getting to the salon? Are you getting coffee on the way? Like give me those details. Like, you know, a typical day, busy, how many clients, the timing, just that's first. I want to kind of get through that. And I want to, cause I'm even sitting here going, I don't think I've ever asked you this question. Like, I don't know what that day looks like.
Yeah.
What does that look like from when you wake up?
So personally, I did not like going in early. I rather work late than early. So 9 a.m. was my
Your first client.
earliest appointment you
Got
could
it.
get, right? And then you have all the chaos of getting the kid to school, whatever. I had all that too. Then showing up to work, I'm like, you got to get there early. So first client's 9. I'm going to be there by 8:30.
Got it.
I'm going to look at my books. I probably have already looked at it. I'm probably already aware, but I kind of get an idea of what my day's going to look like. Habib's my first client. Habib's acrylic. I'm going to pull my acrylic basket out. I'm going to make sure everything's clean, organized, and ready to go. Now, I also owned a shop. So is everything else clean? Usually I would have done that the night before, but is everybody good? Do we have all the towels for the pedicures? Do we have all that stuff? All that too. Is the bathroom stocked? Then, 9 is going to be my first appointment. So Habib comes in at 9, depends what he's getting. Phil, if it was just a regular fill, was 30 minutes. So I got a 9:30. So,
So you have a 9 and then you have a 9:30 and then, okay. Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
I know this, but it's just like now when you're actually kind of walking me through it, it's like, holy crap. Like that's intense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's busy. And then you got to, okay, Habib had acrylic. Next person is gel. Even if they were acrylic, I had to completely clean. I put everything back in his basket, even though they're probably going to use the exact same product because I like to be completely organized.
And that's nice for the client to see pulling out a fresh basket for them as well.
Yeah.
It's a nice experience.
Yeah, it's a nice touch. Plus, I like... Greg was doing my nails yesterday, and a lot of nail techs were this way in my shop. They literally are working like this because they have everything out from the whole day. Like, how?
That would drive me nuts.
I have to have it. I have to have room. I got to have room.
Of course.
So, yeah, it's just repeat. Rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. Like,
mostly fills. You had mostly, right?
Well, you got rebalance
Sure.
is going to take longer. So you got to figure in 1 week, because I tried to kind of get people in a rhythm, so 1 week I might have a really, really easy week, and the next week might be a little harder because I got rebalances and those are.
Is that an hour service you're booking for the rebalances?
It depends.
Depends on what it is.
I did do rebalances in 30 minutes. I could do backfills, pink and white backfills in 30 minutes. Typically, I would schedule 45 just to give myself some breather.
So you had a calendar. You've got a calendar. So as the moment that service is done and you're rebooking them right there, so you're looking at your calendar and going, okay, you're going to need a rebalance the next session. This is going to take 45 minutes because her nails are XYZ, whatever.
Correct.
So you're already, you're pre-planning. You're like, I got to drop them into here. Hey, so their time is not always going to be exactly the same every 2 weeks based on that.
No. And you got to, most of mine were pretty standing. Now it would vary, like, okay, you're 9, you're doing a 30-minute this time, next time it's going to be 9:45, so my client's going to be 9:45. But they had like their times they liked. Roughly.
Yeah.
And then usually you always had that, person that's coming in at 5:15 because work got out at 5.
Right.
So, that would be the kind of the reset of the day, and then you would keep going.
And you're going client after client after client after, like, pretty much when you're booking it, pretty much like the 2 weeks before, when you're actually setting this in the calendar, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever, you're going 9:30, or if it's a rebalance, 9:45, or
my clients knew what they're getting before they ever came.
Exactly.
So, and I don't mean color, like I need to know
the service.
You're getting pink next time. You're sticking to it's this color, right? But the service in general, like you have a 30-minute slot. You knew that.
Yes.
Next time you knew that you had a 45-minute slot, and I didn't, because the money was set.
Yeah.
So there wasn't, unless there was just something that came up, but they would have to tell me too, like, oh crap, Tracey, I chewed all my nails off. I need a full set.
Jesus.
Now, I've done full sets in 30 minutes. I don't like to. I don't want to, I would prefer that they call.
You've done full sets in 30 minutes.
I have.
Okay.
But I would prefer you to call me and say, guess what? And then I have to.
You gotta book it in.
I gotta probably rebook you because I already got someone after you.
Yeah. So you're the slot is already, like, if it's 30 and then now you got to do an hour, you got to put them in a different time slot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Unless there was wiggle room there.
Exactly.
But because I get hit a lot on this about, well, what kind of services were you actually doing? I've had people that are close to me actually slam me on this. And well, what kind of art were you doing back then? I was doing dimensional. I was doing airbrushing. I was doing color. I was doing what I was doing now. Actually, for me, gel polish probably was just, it wasn't as big of a thing.
Yeah.
So it was more colored acrylics and things like that.
Longer.
So now, would I schedule myself boom, 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 boom at the age of 50? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know about that.
Sure. You were younger, and obviously, when you're in your 20s, you got way more energy.
Yeah.
There's just no question.
Well, and people need to book the way they want to book. I'm not ever saying you have to book the way I did. I like to keep going. Personally, I didn't take lunches. I, figured that I would probably eat while someone was getting a pedicure or whatever.
That's your choice.
That's my choice. You don't have to do that. I'm not judging anyone because they're not doing that. But
yeah, you like to have back to back, but then
like back to back.
But then also you would do 3 days a week.
I did 3 towards the
just
end.
Stack them.
I stacked. Now I prefer to have a full day off. Because once you go into the salon, that's what people are like, oh, but it'll only take you 5 minutes. No. Once you're in the salon, you're in. Sucked in. And it's not a 5-minute service because you got to get ready. You got to do this. You got to look presentable. Then you got to clean up. And then you spiral real quick.
So no lunches. You're stacking your clients. What time are you wrapping up the day typically?
Typically 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally, it's straight through. Like you'll go 11, 12 hours straight. How many clients in that time would you get? Like 13, 14, 15 clients?
Sometimes up to 16.
Sometimes up to 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you're doing fills, some rebalances in there, in a 11, 12-hour period, no lunch, you can get in that many clients.
Yep.
And then, sorry,
be
go
mindful, I also have to keep stock of what my inventory is and things like that. Now,
that was my next question.
You have to do that. I always had backup. Well, depends who got into my cupboard and got my backup. Sometimes I went to my backup and there's no backup anymore.
Oh my God.
But
so that happens. People go into your stock. Do they leave you a note? Hey, I borrowed this. You don't know.
No,
they just steal your stuff.
Most of the girls were good. One of them was not good, and she was unfortunately related to me.
Kind of.
But you got to, mental note. But I always had backstop. So I usually would, one of my days off, go in for a couple hours.
So that's what I was going to ask you.
And just
do inventory. Go
to the supply store, all that stuff. I do not and I know a lot of do not plan ahead. It's just not in the DNA. It seems like for the most part, I don't want to have to run to the supply store before my client because I'm out of protein bond.
Right. That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
Yeah. So, I always had at least 6 protein bonds in hand. That's why people knew.
Yes.
I was their backstock. So you have to do all that. Plus I owned the salon. So are the girls having any problems? Now they're independent, but also something breaks in the salon, it's my responsibility. I liked to take care of the towels and things like that because I'd liked everything to match. Now they had their choice. They're independent. They're not my employees. So they could use their own stuff, but they liked the fact that I would take care of all that. So,
of course,
at the end of the day, I'm, before I'm leaving my last client, get them done around 9. I'm loading up all the towels for the day and making sure everything's clean at the end of the day. That's my responsibility.
So did you hire somebody to come in and clean the salon a couple times a week? Or
she came in once a week.
Once a week.
Yeah, because now again, I can't dictate what days the girls work, what hours they work. They could stay there 24/7 and work if they want to because they're independent. They're running space. But what I would tell them is salon cleaner comes on Sundays. So you could be here, but she needs to clean.
Yes.
So, and so everybody took Sundays off.
At 9 o'clock, your last client, let's say bails after your last service. Are you going through, you obviously clean your desk, you organize it, put everything back. You have your acrylic basket, your gel, everything's organized. You doing trash, you go in, bathrooms.
Trash, everything. And especially because I kept the trash cans small.
Yeah.
Because we were a very small salon.
Yeah.
So to keep odor down, I usually would take the trash out a couple times a day.
Yeah. Throughout, in between clients, rush, boom, do that. And then, so off day inventory, is that once a week you would do that? Come in and just do an inventory check once every 2 weeks?
Once a week.
Once a week.
Yeah, you never want to be surprised
Yeah.
by your lack of inventory. And again, typically I would make notes of, I at least have one backup, two. So as soon as I pulled my backup, that was
Time to order.
Time to order.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
One of the huge keys to this is something that I learned in business, and what you're describing to me right now. I mean, you're running a business. Mm-hmm. It's so underrated, but it is one of the most valuable and telling signs of whether a business is going to be successful or not is being organized. Organized.
Super, super important.
Yes.
Yes.
What I've noticed is the businesses that are like extremely organized, you just have a greater chance for success. Now, obviously, marketing, in the end, marketing is that brings in the clients, but that brings in the clients. If you are so disorganized that you can't do services, or you're always late, or you will lose those customers.
I've seen it so many times. Now, chaos equals drama most of the time, right? And running late is drama, and some clients will stick around for the drama for a bit.
Right, for a bit.
They forgive short term. Like if you're just having one of those days, like everything just blew apart. You had to go, your kid got sick at school, and your day just blew apart on you. Clients are understanding, as long as you're understanding with them too, but that I've seen it. I've seen people stick around for the drama, and it's like, and after the drama, they realize this drama doesn't go away.
Yeah.
They usually get very tired.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Drama and I know there's a lot of people right now that are saying, well, I'm a creative, I'm not organized, and I get it. Yep. Okay.
A lot of creatives
are not organized. Yeah. But let me tell you, you need to learn that you have to force yourself to learn the skill, and you can. You have to. In my opinion, it's one of the most vital things, it's really the sort of like the thread that keeps the business together.
Yeah.
And
you could be a little,
of course.
Even here, like you'll see things will blow up.
Sure.
It's organized chaos. I know exactly where everything is. It's just all over right now. But as a salon, you can't be like that.
Of course. You can't have clients walking in.
Of course. Presentation. You can go. Now, I'd go in on a day off where nobody's there and just tear things apart.
Yeah.
Because you need to do that every once in a while.
Of course.
You can deep clean. You can do, I would redecorate, whatever it was. Of course, you need that blow up moment so you can reorganize.
Yes.
But you have to look presentable. And clients don't like the feel of disorganization, because it makes them doubt your ability.
Correct.
If I go to a hairdresser and she's like, "Where's my scissors,
dude?
Oh, where's my? Hey, Habib, I don't have any bleach today. Can I borrow some of your?" I'm like, "Oh my God."
You would be like, "What is going on?"
She's gonna use some random bleach she's never used.
Yes.
And she can't even find her scissors, and it's not a good look.
You lose faith.
Yeah.
in that person's ability to. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's such an important key to really keep things together. And I think that's one thing that people don't expect to hear when it comes to being a successful nail technician. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, you've got to be prepared. You got to be ahead. You have to make sure your stock is there. You have to clean after every service.
Please be clean.
You have to be clean.
I see some stuff. We get electric files in sometimes.
They're caked. Yes. I know. You guys got to keep them clean.
Yeah. Imagine going to a restaurant and your fork look like that.
Yes, it's not good.
It's not good.
And I know there's people right now snickering, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's me." And we know. We see. You know what I'm saying?
It can happen because
it happens.
It happens over time. We get very blind to it.
For sure.
Right? That's why I always say, like, every time you walk in your salon, walk in like you're a new customer.
Yes.
Open
Fresh eyes.
And what are they going to see? and you'll see a lot.
You will see a lot. I think that's a huge key.
And I know like stuff like electric files and lights and stuff like that are expensive. I replace my lights once a year, no matter what.
Just clean lights.
Just clean lights.
It's an investment.
Yeah. But also through all this stuff, Habib, we're also rearranging appointments. We're taking appointments.
Yep.
We're communicating with our customers. You are not just sitting there just
No.
to do nails. The nail part is the funnest part because you get to zone out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the relief.
But you have a lot of clients in that day that are talking to you that want to talk about their day. This is their therapy, and you have to listen and you have to be there.
And it drained me.
Of course, dude.
I am one of those people. I can read people when they walk in the room. So it's like if they're having a bad day, I can feel it, So, and then on top of the talking and going, and I've said this before, I wouldn't even realize it until I got in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I get home and he will tell people today she would stop by and pick up a burrito, a lot of times a 6-pack of beer, and I walk in and be like, "Don't talk to me," because mentally you need
a minute.
You need to
You need to decompress, man. Have a drink, eat your burrito,
eat my burrito,
and then you're like, "Okay, Stan, what's going on?"
Nah.
Still no. Sorry, Stan.
Sorry,
guys. Let us know in the comments below, kind of your experience, your day in the life. Do we miss anything to add? We'd love to hear about it. Please let us know in the comments. Tracy, thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next time on Biz Talk.
Subscribe to the channel.